"You smell like garlic and thyme," she murmured, her amber eyes flickering in the rain. "Not a janitor's hands. These are a cook's hands." Vincent Harper froze. The woman before him was a stranger, wrapped in rags, her cart rattling in the storm. And yet, her voice carried the weight of a past he'd buried. That night, as he emptied his soaked backpack, something tumbled out, an old leather-bound notebook, filled with recipes he'd once dreamed up as a boy. And at the very end, in careful handwriting, a note that made his pulse thunder. "Find me at the corner Tuesday." Who was she, and why did she have a piece of his past? The rain came down in relentless curtains over Elm Street, a forgotten thread in suburban Chicago's fraying tapestry. Vincent Harper trudged through the muck, his janitor's uniform sodden and heavy, his boots sinking into puddles that mirrored the gray sky. At 42, life had whittled him down to a lean, weary figure. A single father to Lily, 10, and Max, 7, ever since Sarah's car spun off an icy road years ago. Once, he dreamed of chefs' whites and bustling kitchens. Now, his world was mop handles and mall corridors. Yet his hands, rough from labor, still carried whispers of garlic and thyme, a stubborn remnant of a life he'd buried. Near the intersection of Elm and Pine, a sharp clatter pierced the storm's drone. A woman wrestled with a shopping cart, its front wheel dangling uselessly, spilling cans and rags into the mud. Her face was shrouded by a tattered scarf, but her muttered curses cut through the wind. Vincent's exhaustion begged him to keep walking. Home was close, the kids waiting, but something rooted him. He dropped to his knees, fishing a wrench from his backpack, and set to work. Rain streaked his face as he tightened bolts, the cold biting his knuckles. "You didn't have to do that," she said, her voice low and gravelly, almost swallowed by the gale. She tugged the scarf aside, revealing amber eyes that flickered like dying coals against her weathered skin. "I'm Anna." "Vincent," he replied, brushing mud from his jeans as he stood. "It's fixed. You're good." She tilted her head, studying him with an intensity that prickled his skin. "Your hands. They don't smell like a janitor's. Garlic. Thyme. A cook's hands." The words landed like a punch, stirring something dormant. "Used to be," he said, voice clipped, and turned to leave. She nodded, a faint smile ghosting her lips, and shuffled off into the downpour, her cart rattling behind her. That night, in the dim glow of his cramped apartment, Vincent peeled off his soaked clothes while Lily and Max bickered over a board game. Something heavy thudded from his backpack, a leather-bound notebook, its cover scuffed but sturdy. It wasn't his. It must have slipped from Anna's cart. Curiosity tugged at him, and he cracked it open, pages of recipes unfurled. Chicken roasted with rosemary, beef stew simmered with stout, apple pie laced with nutmeg. His heart stuttered. These were his recipes, ones he dreamed up as a teenager with Anna Grayson, his childhood best friend and first love. She'd vanished after a fire devoured her family's home when they were 16, leaving him with grief and unanswered questions. Each page bore her neat script signed Anna Grayson, and in the back, a folded note. "Find me at the corner Tuesday." His mind reeled. Anna Grayson, his Anna? The coincidence clawed at him, but doubt shadowed it. The girl he'd known was vibrant, not the scarred stranger. Was this some cruel trick of memory? Tuesday dawned gray and damp. Vincent stood outside the diner on Elm Street, the notebook a weight in his hands. She appeared, scarf gone, her face a weathered echo of the girl he'd loved. Those amber eyes, that sharp jawline softened by hardship. Over bitter coffee, she confirmed it. "Yes, it's me." But when he pressed where she'd been, why she looked like she'd crawled from the gutter, she sidestepped with a smile. "Cook for me, Vincent. Like we used to." Suspicion gnawed, but nostalgia was a stronger pull. He invited her to his apartment, where Lily sized her up with a skeptic squint and Max peppered her with questions. Over a meal of roasted chicken, the years dissolved, memories of sneaking into her dad's garage to mix sauces, plotting a restaurant with mismatched chairs. Anna's laughter warmed the room, a flicker of light in Vincent's shadow world. When she left, a silver bracelet gleamed on the table, its craftsmanship stark against her beggar's rags. Who was she hiding? The next day, Vincent hit the library, driven by unease. Old newspapers and online archives revealed a bombshell. Anna Grayson, billionaire heiress to Grayson Realty, had dropped off the grid years ago. Whispers painted her as a philanthropist living among the poor, funneling her fortune into a shadowy hope network to rebuild broken communities. The pieces snapped together. Her cart, her scars, her tether to their notebook. But why the disguise? Why not tell him? He cornered her at the diner, voice tight. "You're a billionaire, Anna. Why live like a ghost?" Her gaze hardened, then cracked. "Wealth ruined my family, greed, lies. The fire was an accident. My father set it for insurance money. I ran after that. Found meaning in the margins. This," she gestured her frayed coat, "keeps me grounded. That notebook, it's all I kept of us." Vincent's chest ached. "You could have trusted me." "I didn't know if you'd see past the money," she said, voice trembling. Then her eyes sparked. "There's an old kitchen on Maple, abandoned. Let's fix it. You cook, I fund. A place for people like us." A partnership with a billionaire masquerading as a pauper? It was madness. But her sincerity and the pull of their past tipped the scales. "Okay," he said, "but no more lies." "None," she vowed. The kitchen was a ruin. Rusted ovens, shattered tiles, a ceiling sagging with rot. They attacked it with grit and hope, Vincent hauling debris while Anna sourced supplies with a quiet efficiency that hinted at her hidden life. One evening, as they scrubbed grime from a counter, she pulled a Polaroid from her pocket. Two sunburned teens grinning outside a diner, Vincent's arms slung around her. "Found it in an old box," she said. "I loved you then, you know." His throat tightened. "I love you too." The confession hung, raw and electric. Days later, the cart opened. Name for a broken cart. Its painted frame now a sign above the door. Free meals poured out. Hearty stews, crusty bread. Pie that drew crowds. Lily helped in the kitchen. Max doodled flyers, and the community embraced it. But whispers trailed them. Who was Anna, really? Why the secrecy? A storm roared through one November night, ripping the roof off. Vincent stared at the wreckage, despair sinking in. "It's done," he muttered. But Anna rallied volunteers, neighbors, strangers, even a grizzled ex-con named Ray who'd taken calling her boss. Her quiet command shone through, and as they rebuilt, she kissed him in the rain, mud-streaked and fierce, a promise forged in chaos. Then came the first twist. A week later, a man slipped Vincent a grainy photo outside the cart. Anna younger, in a sleek suit, shaking hands with Vincent Cole, a real estate tycoon jailed for fraud years back. Scribbled on a reverse, "She's not who you think." Vincent's stomach dropped. Was she a con? Had she played him? He stormed into the cart, slamming the photo down. "Explain this." Her face drained of color. "Vincent was my uncle," she said, voice shaking. "After the fire, he took me in, taught me the business. But he was dirty. I found out he'd bribed inspectors to cover up the fire's cause. I took my inheritance and ran, started the Hope Network to fix what he broke. I didn't tell you because I was ashamed." "Why keep it from me now?" he demanded. "I wanted you to see me, not his shadow," she said, tears brimming. "I'm still Anna from Elm Street." Doubt battled trust, but her broken honesty won. "No more secrets," he said. "None," she swore. Winter deepened and the cart thrived, tables groaning with food, walls lined with thank you notes. But trouble brewed. A local reporter, sniffing a scoop, dug into Anna's past. One frigid morning, a headline screamed, "Billionaire slums it for PR stunt." A crowd gathered, some cheering, others jeering. Vincent grabbed a megaphone, voice raw. "She's not a stunt. She's real, more real than anyone. This place, it's ours, not just hers." Anna stepped up, scarf off, scars bared. "I've made mistakes," she said, voice steady. "But I'm here. Judge me for that." The crowd roared approval, drowning the skeptics. Then came the second twist. Late one night, as Vincent locked up, a shadow slipped through the alley, a man in a hooded coat, leaving a package by the door. Inside was a ledger, its pages detailing payments from Grayson Realty to a shell company tied to Vincent Cole. A note read, She knew. Vincent's blood ran cold. Had Anna lied again? Was the cart a front? He confronted her at dawn, ledger in hand. "Did you know about this?" She stared, horrified. "No, this is Vincent's after I left. He must have kept it running." She grabbed her phone, dialing a contact Vincent didn't know. "Ray, check the old files. Now!" "Ray." The ex-con arrived an hour later, grim. "Found this in a storage unit Vincent owned. Someone's been tailing you, Anna, trying to pin his dirt on you." "Who?" Vincent asked. "Done," Ray said, "but they're close." The mystery gnawed at them, but they pressed on. The cart became a fortress. Food flowing, trust rebuilding. One evening, as snow fell, Vincent caught Anna's gaze over a steaming pot. He dropped to one knee. "Marry me?" She laughed through tears. "Yes." Their wedding unfolded in the kitchen. Snow dusting the windows, Lily tossing flour like confetti, Max grinning ear to ear. The community packed the room, cheering as they kissed. But the shadow lingered. Days later, Vincent found a note under the door. "Thank you for the food, for the hope." With it, a child's drawer of the cart, tiny Vincent and Anna holding hands. No signature. Months turned to years. The cart grew. A second location, then a third, its legacy rippling outward. Vincent, graying but fierce, ran the kitchens, Lily training beside him. Max designing murals for each outpost. Anna, her scars a badge of honor, poured her fortune into it, her past a fuel, not a chain. One spring night, as rain tapped the roof, Vincent found a final clue, a faded letter in Vincent's storage unit, addressed to Anna. "I framed the fire to protect you. Forgive me." It was Vincent's confession, proof she'd never known. He showed it to her, and she wept, releasing a burden she carried unknowingly. In the quiet, Vincent caught her amber gaze and smiled. From a broken cart in the rain, they'd built a life, not just for themselves, but for 1,000 others. The notebook, framed behind the counter, bore a new line: "The second chances and the shadows we outrun."